So the release date for Phase 2 of Season of Discovery has finally been announced, and in this video, we're going to be talking about that release date, as well as highlighting some of the key features or aspects of Phase 2, and at the very end, we're going to be speculating a little bit over the clip that they chose to show off for this announcement, because, man, do I've got some ideas as to what this next PvP event is going to be all about. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be talking about is the release date. So as you guys can see here, the Season of Discovery Phase 2 is going to be releasing on February the 8th. And not that I'm complaining, but I think February 8th is actually a way earlier prediction than what I had originally thought. I was thinking at the very earliest it was going to be like a late February, super early March. But again, like I said, I'm not complaining. I'm really happy that it's coming out a lot earlier than I had originally thought. So it just means we're going to be getting our hands on this and jumping into Phase 2 sooner than expected. And with the release of Phase 2, I figured why not go over some of the features that are going to be focused on with this phase. So again, with Phase 2, the level cap is going to be increased to level 40 from 25. So with level 40, that means that we're going to be dealing with new abilities, new talents, and things like that with all of our characters. And also this means that the meta is going to change, because 25 new levels is a really big difference for different classes. And then of course, on top of that, we're going to be getting brand new runes and abilities for all of our classes. This is going to be really interesting to see, and it's going to be, again, just like how it was with the introduction of Phase 1, where there's going to be a whole bunch of new runes to jump after, and you know, there's going to be that little brief discovery phase where everyone's like trying to find all the runes and things like that. So I think it's going to be a really fun time. And I think for me, one of the most exciting things about this new phase is definitely going to be the new runes. The reason why I say this is because I think, you know, with Phase 1, Blizzard has had ample time to kind of see how everyone has been vibing with all of these different runes and, you know, the new ways to play all of our classes and things like that. So I'm just really excited to kind of like see where the next step is. You know, are we going to be getting even more kind of like crazier playstyles for different specs, things like that? One thing that I would love to see is like more runes that are catered towards hunter pets being viable tanks. I know right now I can tank Wailing Caverns or Dead Mines as a hunter, no problem. And I think there are some people that have been saying that they have successfully tanked BFD with a hunter pet. I'm not sure, I can't confirm that. But if that's the case, I would love to see a viable build for a hunter pet tank. And then of course, with the issue of threat generation for like AoE, as far as the other tanks goes, I know the rogue tank, it definitely sucks when it comes to AoE threat, things like that. So if they were to add like a Fan of Knives ability with the rune that helps with threat generation, stuff like that would just really flesh out these new playstyles. Another big feature of Phase 2 is going to be a brand new raid. So just like with Phase 1, where they basically turned Black Fathom Depths into a 7-boss raid, we're going to be having Gnomeregan as the next raid for Season 2. And this one's going to be pretty interesting. I know with normal classic WoW, Gnomeregan is catered towards a level 29 to 28 instance, and so it looks like they're going to be buffing that up a little bit and bringing it up to level 40, which is kind of to be expected. And I know this Gnomeregan raid is going to be kind of crazy because we've already gotten certain items data mined from that raid, and they just look insane. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about with this video is going to be about the new PvP event. So up until now, we have only been speculating as to where the next PvP zone is going to be, because in Phase 1 we've had Ashenvale, and then with Phase 2 people have been heavily implying, or you know, basically all but confirming that it's going to be Stranglethorn Vale. We never actually had any like hard confirmations on this up until just now with this announcement. And here, as you guys can see, the clip where they're showing off with the announcement, we've got what looks like a human female kind of hanging out in Stranglethorn Vale. This is very obvious with the music, which is from that zone. So in my eyes, that is a hard confirmation that yes, the PvP zone is going to be Stranglethorn Vale. But what I think is really interesting about this clip in general is how the color kind of shifts from like that normal color tone all the way to like a red, almost like a blood moon kind of thing. So the really boring explanation for this one in my eyes would be like, this is just a way to transition to let everyone know like, hey, the PvP event is starting and there's nothing like crazy or special about this. But then there's that fun part of my brain that kind of turns on and makes me start thinking about this. And I have two possible speculations as how this PvP event is going to play out. The first one is going to be where it's basically just, again, Horde versus Alliance. And when the sky turns red, that's going to trigger this event, which is going to turn, I guess, key locations in the zone to, I guess, like PvP areas where it's almost like a capture and defend or king of the hill type situation. And then the other one in my head, which I think is more unlikely, but I think would be really freaking awesome, would be that when this event triggers, it's just open PvP across everybody. Like, it's not about faction, it's not Horde versus Alliance, it's all just free for all. Like, everyone's flagged everywhere, you can kill everybody here, and yeah, I think if that happened, this would be so much cooler. So there we have it, folks. We now have the confirmation of Phase 2, which is going to be very soon. So make sure that you guys get your main characters leveled up to 25. You start running some BFD, get that best in slot gear so that you can jump into Stranglethorn Vale and start leveling as quickly as possible. But that's all I've got for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this one or you just want to help me out, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that way you guys are always known when my new videos go out. Also, let me know what you guys are most excited for with Phase 2 of Season of Discovery in the comments section, because again, I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I'm still Solo, and I'll see you all in my next one.